Deb Hopkins, are we ready to go? All right, at this time we're going to bring in the different breed champions from all the different breeds that had an opportunity to show here this week. 16 different sheep shows we had here since last Friday morning. Starting out our class here will be ring number 1, and this is the Grand Champion Shetland Ram from Georgiana Springs Tube. And Georgiana hails from West Stockbridge, Massachusetts, and she's leading a yearling ram who's a little perhaps not as happy to be out here in the ring at this time, but she is leading in her yearling ram. His name is Chewy, Springs Tube 500. He's an April-born yearling that weighed 100 pounds. All right, Steve Cruz bringing our next ram in the ring. Next coming in is our Grand Champion ram from the what we call the All Other Breeds Wool Division, and what that is was a group of breeds. We had 2 or 3 different breeds of sheep. There weren't quite enough to make a separate breed class for, so we grouped them together. And our winner out of this class is a senior-born ram lamb from the Cruitt Sheep Farm in Findlay, Illinois on Cruitt 5-9. This November ram weighed 216 pounds. Our next coming in the ring will be ring number 3. The Grand Champion White Border Leicester Ram, bred by Deacon Family Farm of Cuba, Illinois. He is Deacon 1965, born February 20th of 14, and weighed 238 pounds. Coming in ring number 4 will be our natural colored Border Leicester yearling ram from the Emily Gibson flock of Lee, New Hampshire. He was Gibson number 158, and he's a March-born yearling that weighs 235. All right, coming in number 5, ring number 5, is a yearling ram from Brianna Taylor. He's the Grand Champion Tunis Ram from Shirley, Massachusetts on Half Pint Farm 42. This January 21st ram yearling was weighing in at 259 pounds. Ethan Kennedy, bring on in your white Grand Champion Romney ram, and this is a yearling, another yearling from the Ethan Kennedy flock of Canandaigua, New York on Thistledown 416. He's a March 9th born yearling, and he weighs 259. From Ethan Kennedy, ring number 6. And ring number 7 coming in the ring will be the natural colored Romney. And this is an intermediate ram lamb from Smiling Sheep Farm, the Chapin family of Milton, New Hampshire. This ram is named Chapin John Bear, and he was born January 29th of 15, and he weighs 182 pounds. That was ring number 7. All right, bringing in ring number 8 is our white Lincoln ram. He's a yearling ram from the Deb Vanderwind flock of Greenwood, Delaware on Locust Grove 470. He's a February-born yearling that weighs 260 pounds. The next ram in the ring, that again was ring number 8, the white Lincoln bringing on in, is the natural colored Lincoln ram. He's a junior ram lamb exhibited by Terrence Blake of Ludlow, Massachusetts. His name is Keb Farm 51, and he's a March-born lamb that weighed 121 pounds. That's ring number 9. Now we had a natural colored show. We had 3 different divisions, and our champion ram from the natural colored fine division is a yearling ram from the Wilhigh Farm. Chuck and Heidi Simmons of Tivoli, New York, and Will Ham with Wilhigh 1447. He's a February-born yearling that weighs 268. That was ring number 10. Now ring number 11 is our natural colored medium-born ram. He's a junior ram lamb from Emmy and Andrew Huckowitz. They hail from Hadley, Massachusetts, and this ram's name's Wolf Spur of the Moment. And he's a January 2-born 15 lamb that weighed 200 pounds. Next, and that was ring number 11. Next we have ring number 12 coming in the ring. He's the natural colored coarse and long winner. That ram hails from the Little Who's flock Charlene and Ken Carlisle from Morristown, New Jersey on Little Hooves 561. He's a February 15 born ram lamb that weighed 180 pounds. Next we have coming in the ring is the Grand Champion Corriedale Ram. He's a senior born ram lamb, a fall born lamb from the Lightning Ridge Farm. They hail from Sherburne, Massachusetts, and his name is Lightning Ridge 1510. He's born January 12th of 15. He tipped the scales at 187 pounds, and this will be ring number 13. All right, coming in next will be ring number 14, our Grand Champion Cotswold Ram of the show. He is a senior ram lamb bred by Robert Eade of Addyville, Illinois. And that ram's name is Eade 322. He was born the 31st of January, and he weighed 152. Next coming in the ring will be our Champion Katahdin Ram, a Grand Champion Katahdin Ram. He was an intermediate born ram lamb from the Ed and Helen Julian flock of Rootstown, Ohio. On Ed and Helen Julian 506, this January ram weighed 180 pounds. And our final ram coming in the ring was ring number 16, the Grand Champion Rambouillet Ram, a senior born ram lamb from O'Banion Farms of Waynesville, Ohio, with Marshall BM 103. This fall born yearling weighed 204. And at this time we're going to have those rams step on up the lead, follow Debbie Hopkins' lead. And folks around the ringside, let's give these guys a nice round of applause, and we'll congratulate them on having their champion rams of the breed. Once we get the rams situated, we're going to introduce you to our three judges today. We have three noted breeders, expert breeders themselves in their own rights, very successful. Two of the gentlemen helped us judge our sheep shows here this week. Now, if you've just stepped up, what we're doing is picking our supreme champion ram of all the breeds. And if you'd like to help us, we have two awards. The judges are going to pick a ram, and then we're also going to announce our People's Choice winner. So once you've had a chance to look them over, we've got blue ballots. If you need one, just raise your hand. We want to make sure everybody gets one. Well, the first fellow we're going to introduce that's judging here is the gentleman without the hat, and that's Nathan Leon from Iowa. He's a tall gentleman here in the center. Nathan hails from Olean, Iowa. He runs a meat packing business. His family raises Lincolns and Corriedales and has a Suffolk meat to market type of a lamb they raise as well. And he has a farm to table business, and they also sell all their fleeces. He also served as our second half sheep judge here this week. We have a gentleman down here, a tall fellow with a burgundy shirt on, a maroon shirt, is Matt Best. And Matt hails from New Hampshire. He's with the Best Tunis flock. He also is a professional llama and alpaca shearer as well. So be sure if you have a llama and you need one sheared, talk to that gentleman right there. And the man in the center of the ring with the suspenders on is Isaac Gargas. And Isaac hails from Telford, Pennsylvania. His family's been in the sheep business all their lives. Isaac's a noted exhibitor himself and has literally shown sheep from coast to coast. Let's welcome our three judges today. We have Nathan Leon, Isaac Gargas, and Matt Beth. We've got some votes coming in already, so if you didn't get a ballot, make sure you raise your hand. We want to make sure everybody has an opportunity. Once again, if you just stepped up here around the ringside, this is our Supreme Champion Ram selection. Each one of these breeds picked a Grand Champion Ram. We had 3 or 4 breeds had national shows combined here with the Big E. three of the breeds here held their national shows in conjunction with the Eastern States Exposition, and that was both the white and black, the Border Leicester breed, selected their national champions. The Tunis breed selected their national champions here, and our national natural colored show also were three of the breeds that held their national champion shows here in conjunction with the Big E. Once again, if you just stepped up, you can still grab a ballot. These ladies will make sure you get a ballot. The ram down here to the judges, the far right, our announcers table here to the far right, that's the Grand Champion Shetland, and that is ring number 1. So if you're wondering, the next ram beside her is ring 2, and it goes right on around the corner, and we'll end up with the ram to the judges' far left side is number 16. So if you have any doubt about which one it is, just count from right to left around, and you'll be able to vote for that animal. It's amazing how many times over the course of the last 4 or 5 years that we've done this that the People's Choice winner has matched the Judge's Choice. So some irony there, but the top ones always seem to surface one way or the other. We are going to go around and recognize these while our judges are working. Ring number 1 again was the Grand Champion Shetland ram from Georgiana Springs Tube from West Stockbridge, Massachusetts with Chewy. The next ram, contestant number 2, is our champion from the All Other Breeds Wool Division, and that was a Columbia bred by Cruitt Sheep Farm in Findlay, Illinois. The white Border Leicester ram hailed from Illinois from Deacon Family Farm with Deacon 1965. Our natural colored Border Leicester was a yearling ram bred by Emily Gibson of Lee, New Hampshire. Entry number 5, contestant 5, is our champion Tunis ram, a yearling from the Brianna Taylor flock of Shirley, Massachusetts with half pint 42. Next is ring number 6, our Grand Champion Romney ram, which is a yearling from the Ethan Kennedy flock of Canandaigua, New York on Thistledown 416. Contestant number 7 is the natural colored Romney, an intermediate born lamb from the Smiling Sheep Farm of Milton, New Hampshire with Chapin John Bear. Our champion white Lincoln yearling ram will be contestant number 8 from the Deborah Vanderwind flock of Greenwood, Delaware on Locust Grove 470. Contestant number 9 is the natural colored Lincoln from Terrence Blake of Massachusetts, and 10 is the natural colored Fine yearling from the Wilhigh Farm in Tivoli, New York. Contestant number 11 is the natural colored medium from Emmy and Andrew Huckowitz of Hadley, Massachusetts on Spur of the Moment. Contestant number 12 is our natural colored Corson Long winner, a junior born ram from Little Hooves Romneys of Moorestown, New Jersey with Little Hooves 561. Contestant number 13 is a champion Corriedale ram from the Lightning Ridge Farm of Sherborne, Massachusetts. And number 14 is our champion Cotswold ram from the Robert Eade flock of Illinois. 15 is the champion Katahdin ram, a lamb from Ed and Helen Julian of Rootstown, Ohio. And it's rounded out by ring number 16, a senior lamb from the O'Banion Farms in Waynesville, Ohio. After our judges have had an opportunity to work through these, we're going to have on command, we will have the exhibitors parade all of these animals around the ring one time and stop back where they were, and then the judges will pull out 3, 4, or 5 of their favorite animals and set them here in front of the bleacher area to work them a little more closely. Our People's Choice winner wins a bottle of wine from the New England and New York wineries, a very nice bottle of wine. That is what the People's Choice winner is going to receive. If it's a youth, they get a nice gift certificate from Twist of Fate, a spinnery and livestock supply company. And the Big E furnishes cash prizes also to the Supreme Champions. Okay, at this time we would like each of you exhibitors to bring your sheep around a complete circle. We're going to have Georgiana lead her Shetland here. We're going to bring it all the way around a circle so the judges will have a chance to watch it walk. And we'll have you stop back where you started. Those of you in our crowd today that are having an opportunity to watch us select our Supreme Champion ram here at the show, and likewise in a few minutes to you, you saw the judges go down the tops of these animals and handle them on the side and look over the fleeces. What they are doing is getting a comparison of all the different animals here to see the amount of muscling. When they handle them, they're checking the amount of muscling. They're checking the strength of the top of the animal, and back on the rib area, that's where our lamb chop comes from. That's the most valuable cut of the lamb. We like to have a nice full round rib. We have even those either have a lot of emphasis on the fleece of these animals, which is the primary emphasis here in our week 2 judging. Nonetheless, that meat underneath that animal is also of utmost importance. So when they handle down the top, we're feeling to see how much muscling the animals has. When they feel on the rump of the animal, that's the area where the leg of lamb comes from. So that's another very valuable cut of meat. We can make a nice leg of lamb, and if they feel strong and plump with the leg and a good strong back, that's an indicator that's going to be transmitted through their genetics onto their offspring. Then as you see them part the fleeces, that takes in a whole nother criteria of things that these judges are looking for today. Each one of the different breeds here have their own scorecard, their own criteria. They place different amount of emphasis on fleece, differences amount on breed character, which talks about is referring to the shape of the face, the look of the appearance of the animal. It's part of the overall composition of these purebred and registered breeds. So they're looking at the breed character, they're looking at the size for the age of the animal, they're calculating how much meat and muscle they have down their backs and in their rump area. Also, they're looking for structural soundness, because when we build a program, any livestock program has to be built from the foundation up, and that means the animal needs to have a good set of feet and legs. They need to be able to walk freely and smoothly. And in this case, besides that, these animals also have wonderful woolen pelts about them. They have excellent fleeces, and so we're mulling all these things together to try to come up and see which one of these rams best represents his breed out of all the different 16 breeds here that we showed this week. And the judges, when they concur, are going to pull a few out here and slice the pie a little bit thinner here. So we are going to, they will pull out some of their favorites to work then a little more closely. Our judges are now pulling out a set of rams that they are going to analyze a little more closely. The first one here is a white Border Leicester ram from Deacon Family Farms of Illinois. We have the natural colored Lincoln ram from Terrence Blake. The natural colored medium champion ram was from Emmy and Andrew Huckowitz. And Bob Eads has the champion Cotswold ram down to the judge's far left. All right, before we let our judges take over, folks, we're going to recognize the job you did. And our People's Choice winner is not one of these first four. But that's all right. They're all outstanding in their own right. Our People's Choice winner here, week 2 of the Big E, goes to the Tunis. Our grand champion Tunis to Brianna Taylor. Jerry Taylor, her father, is the recipient. All right, we know where your pins are. That went to Dad. And we're going to turn it over to Matt Best. It looks like is going to be giving our making our announcement.
Yeah, they're going to make me talk first. So we've come to the end of a long week here at the Big E. We've worked really hard on our animals to get them to this point, and it shows. There's some really, really nice sheep out here in the ring. Champions in their own right, to be sure. As we look around the ring, there are a lot of differences in these sheep, from small to big and different types of fleece and things like that. But there are also a lot of similarities that we see when we look at these sheep. All these sheep are relatively structurally correct. They have muscling where they need to have it. They're adequate size for their breed. They have good fleeces, otherwise they wouldn't be here in the ring today as champions. So for us to pick out one out of this whole group, there has to be something else that we can use as a selection criteria. I'll talk just a minute about that. There's a theoretical principle that artists and sculptors, architects and engineers subscribe to. It's called the golden ratio. If any of you have read Dan Brown's novels, you recognize it as the divine proportion. And basically what that says is that if I give all of you folks a piece of paper and a pencil, and I have you draw a rectangular prism, a three-dimensional prism. The size of the prism may be a little different, but the proportions are going to be pretty close to the same. Height and length and width of all your pictures are going to look pretty well just the same ratio. And the reason for that is that that is the ratio that the Creator used when He made this world and all things therein. And since He also made us, we somehow recognize that proportion as being correct and it is pleasing unto us. And Nate and Isaac and I had a look around. It didn't really take us too long to come to agreement that there's one sheep out here in particular that really has that divine proportion. And I think that when I point it out to you, you're going to say, oh yeah, that is the one. And so our Supreme Champion Ram is going to be the natural colored medium sheep.
Congratulations to Emmy and Andy Huckowitz from Hadley, Massachusetts with your Supreme Champion Ram. Congratulations to all four of you finalists. Deacon family on yours, Terrence Blake, and Bob Eads from Illinois as well with those Rams in the final four. While we're lining up our ewes, we have Donna Woolham, our Director of Agriculture here at the Big E, is going to step over with Andy and Emmy. We also need that People's Choice winner, Jerry Taylor, so don't you go away. We'll get him right now, too. And we also want the judges up there, too. You folks around the ringside that would like to pick you up a ballot, a pink one this time. This is going to be the same as we did with the Rams. We've got a People's Choice winner here from the females. Nancy Minotaur is going through the crowd here. If you don't have a pink ballot, stick around. There's Carol. If you didn't pick up a ballot, be sure and grab you one here, and we'll let you help us participate in our People's Choice selection. So you can look at these. You don't have to know anything about sheep. Hillary, smile at the camera while you're right here. That's Hillary Chapin there for those of you at home. And we got quite a few watching. We appreciate that. We are webcasting the sheep shows here, so if you get home and you want to go back and see what the show looked like, it's on YouTube at Big E Livestock. It is archived, so if you'd like to watch our sheep shows here, tell your friends, go home and see it, and spread the word. All righty, Debbie Hopkins, our sheep superintendent, says we're ready to go. So at this time, we're going to lead in our grand champion ewes from all the different divisions. There were 16 of them. We're going to start out with our grand champion Shetland ewe. She's a yearling ewe from Isabel Tower of Bolton, Massachusetts. She is, all right, you're free to clap and cheer when you go around. This is Freddie's Bluebell, number 49 from Isabel. She's a March-born yearling, Shetland ewe that weighed 84 pounds. Contestant number 1. All right, contestant number 2 from the All of the Breeds Wool Division is a yearling ewe from the Gary Neese flock of Gosport, Indiana. This ewe's name is Travell 1421, and she's a January-born yearling that weighed 81 pounds. This is a Columbia ewe from Indiana, contestant number 2. Contestant number 3, let's bring in that white Border Leicester champion ewe from Maybe Tomorrow Farm of Chepachet, Rhode Island. On Hopkins 14-2, she is a February 2nd born yearling that weighed 205. This is entry number 3, the champion white Border Leicester ewe. All right, Ms. Swartz, bring in contestant number 4 is the natural collared champion Border Leicester ewe from the Tiffany Deacon flock of Cuba, Illinois. Her name is AJ's flock 151. She's a March 7th born yearling and weighed 206 pounds from Cuba, Illinois. Entry number 5, we're going to call in our champion Tunis ewe to the ring. And this is a yearling ewe from the Riverwood Farms of Powell, Ohio. Her name is Old Glory, Hal 1519. And this February 7 born ewe of 14 weighed 206 pounds. Our grand champion Tunis, and she is entry number 5. Bring in that champion Romney ewe. Our white Romney ewe is a yearling ewe from the Emma Morton flock of Chepachet, Rhode Island. She is Morton's 0104, and she's born the 8th of March of 14, and she weighed in at 214 pounds. Next, Ethan Kennedy's got ring number 7, the natural collared Romney ewe, is a yearling ewe from the Ethan Kennedy flock of Canandaigua, New York, on Thistledown 402. She was born the 18th of February, and she weighs 229 pounds. All right, here's another Illinois sheep. Bring in number 8, a white Lincoln yearling ewe from the Beverly Boersma flock of Murfreesboro, Illinois, with Boersma 14212 is her name. She was born the 3rd of March of last year, and she weighed in at 253 pounds. Beverly Boersma with ring number 8. Next will be ring number 9, a first of 4 natural coloreds or black sheep that are going to be coming in the ring. And the first one here is a natural colored yearling ewe, the natural colored Lincoln champion ewe from Wind Valley Farm of Oakham, Massachusetts. And her name is CV's 30, and this February 10th born yearling weighed 197 pounds. Chuck Simmons, bring on in ring number 9. Or this is ring number 10, the Natural Colored Fine You. Ring number 10 coming in our ring. She is a senior ewe lamb from the Wilhigh Farm of Tivoli, New York on Wilhigh, 14140. She was born on Halloween and weighed 170 pounds. Here comes our Natural Colored Medium champion ewe from the Emmy and Andrew Huckowitz flock with Pines End Charlotte. That's Pines End 1419. She's a March 21st born yearling that weighed 238 pounds. All right, bring in contestant number 12 is our Natural Colored Course and Long winner. Is a yearling ewe from the Little Hooves flock, Ken and Charlene Carlisle of Morristown, New Jersey with Little Hooves 447. She was a February 1st born yearling and she weighs 190 pounds. Jessica Miniter leading in our champion Corriedale ewe. Was a junior ewe lamb from the Lightning Ridge Farm of Sherborne, Massachusetts with Lightning Ridge 1536, this February 20th ewe lamb. She tipped the scales at 169 pounds. Next coming in the ring is our Cotswold winner. Ring number 14, the senior ewe lamb from Robert Eade of Addyville, Illinois. On Eade 328, she was a January 31st born lamb of this year and weighs 153. Next is ring number 15, a junior ewe lamb from the Ed and Helen Julian flock of Rootstown, Ohio, with Ed and Helen Julian 534. She's a March 6 ewe lamb that weighed 144. And last but not least is our champion Rambouillet ewe of the show. And she is a yearling ewe exhibited and bred by Wilhigh Farm of Tivoli, New York, with Wilhigh 1426, a March-born yearling that weighed 208. Let's give these exhibitors a nice round of applause on a job well done. Let's lead them, Georgiana Springs Isabel Tower, lead your ewe right on around the ring here. And we'll have that niece ewe follow, and we're going to get these ewes here in position where our judges can look them over a little more closely. We'll let them all get settled here. We're going to put them on the camera here one at a time as we go through and announce which one is which. And let those of you at home also have an opportunity to see just which ones we're dealing with here today and describing and talking about. Once again, if you didn't get a ballot, raise your hand and we'll make sure that you get a ballot and can vote on our People's Choice winner. You're going to help one of these folks win a nice bottle of wine donated by the New England and New York wineries. For those of you in the crowd that just stepped up here and got a ballot but not sure which one you're voting on, the number to vote on, it's 1 to 16. The young lady to the judge's far right, to my far right, is the champion Shetland ewe, and she's contestant 1. The sheep clear to the judge's left, that's number 16, so you can just count around the corner if you don't see the ring number. We're going to recognize these for those of you following us along on our webcast here this afternoon of our Supreme Champion judging. We're going to again mention each of the breeders' names and the animals' names as we go. Starting here with contestant number 1 is from Isabel Tower. She's the champion Shetland ewe, a yearling ewe from Bolton, Massachusetts, and she's known as Freddie's Bluebell. Contestant number 2 from Indiana is the champion ewe from the All Other Breeds division. That's a Columbia ewe from the Gary Neese flock of Gosport, Indiana, and her name is Travell 1421. Next coming around the ring, contestant number 3 is the champion White Border Leicester ewe, a yearling from Maybe Tomorrow Farm of Chepachet, Rhode Island, with Hopkins 14-2. And right behind her, we'll let our judge. We have some more with ballots that want to, yeah. Those of you that would like to vote, just grab a ballot as they come around. The next ewe, the black ewe in the corner, is the natural collared ewe from the Tiffany Deacon flock of Cuba, Illinois. And that sheep's name is AJ 151. Contestant number 5 is the Grand Champion Tunis ewe, a yearling ewe from the Powell, Ohio flock on Old Glory 1519. That's contestant 5. Contestant number 6 is our champion White Romney ewe from the Emma Morton flock of Chepachet, Rhode Island, with Morton's 0104. Next, contestant number 7 is the natural collared Romney. The gentleman there in the blue shirt and the tan cap, that's Ethan Kennedy from Canandaigua, New York, with Thistledown 402. That is ring number 7. Next to him is ring number 8, our champion White Lincoln ewe from the Beverly Boersma flock of Murfreesboro, Illinois, on Boersma 14-12. Contestant number 9 is our natural collared Lincoln, is a yearling ewe from the Wind Valley Farm in Murfreesboro. Whoops. Number 9 is from Wind Valley Farm in Oakham, Massachusetts, and that's CV's number 30. That ewe is CV's number 30, and that is contestant number 9. Contestant number 10 is the natural colored fine champion ewe, a senior ewe lamb from Wilhigh Farm in Tivoli, New York, on Wilhigh 14140. Contestant number 11 is the champion ewe. It's a yearling ewe from Emmy and Andrew Huckowitz of Hadley, Massachusetts, on Pines Inn, Charlotte. Next we have contestant number 12, the natural colored winner from the long and coarse division, and that's from Little Hooves flock in Moorestown, New Jersey, with Little Hooves 447. Contestant number 13 is the Cordell ewe, the gentleman with the suspenders our judge is working on now. That's a junior ewe lamb from Lightning Ridge Farm of Sherborne, Massachusetts. And that's ring number 13. Ring number 14 is the senior ewe lamb from the Robert Eade flock. That's the champion Cotswold ewe from Illinois. Next we have the champion Katahdin ewe from Ed and Helen Julian of Rootstown, Ohio, is entry number 15. And our final ewe here is the champion Rambouillet from the Wilhigh Farm of Tivoli, New York. Let's give these exhibitors all another nice round of applause on a job well done. 3 of these breeds again held their national shows here. There will be some other national shows held this fall. But we have as many national champions, past and future, standing in this ring as any other show in the nation. So there will be one other show that competition will be keen at the North American in Louisville, but we'll have as many of those champions will have already been presented and won here. So there's a bright future to the Rams and Ewes of both this week and last week that we've been judging here. Now, our final class, we're going to pick out a supreme fleece of all these breeds as well. So I'm going to let our judges do their job, and then again, they're going to pull out 3, 4, or 5, whatever they're more comfortable with, to look a little more closely at. Well, we have a captive audience of exhibitors. Don't forget, tomorrow is our exhibitors meeting at 12 noon. And after that, Debbie will announce in fact, she'll start announcing the release times and whatnot to go get your trailers tomorrow morning. So she will be making those announcements. Keep your ears tuned in. Our exhibitors meeting again will be at 12 noon. You'll have an opportunity also to select judges, or at least vote on our favorite judge choices for next year's shows. We'll learn the breed splits, which breeds are going to be the first session and which will be the back half, and go from there. Yeah, it's kind of tough. We need to walk these animals one more time. In fact, we're going to give you a little secret. We've got a tie on the People's Choice Award, so everybody thinks there's a lot of good ones out here. So, Isabel Tower, let's bring you right on around the ring here. Nieces, you follow along. We're going to let these gentlemen here study a little more closely. These are just outstanding sheep, folks. You just can't believe how good the animals are that we're having a chance to look at here. They've come from as far west. We've had a number of sheep from Illinois and Indiana and points east are up here competing for this prestigious show's most prized awards, and that's the Supreme Champion. So if you get a champion here at the Eastern States, it says a lot within the industry. Okay, we've narrowed it down to 5 this time on our females, and we're going to recognize the Border Leicester, the champion Border Leicester ewe is ring number 3 from a Maybe Tomorrow farm. Next we have ring number 5 is from the Riverwood Farms in Powell, Ohio, with that champion Tunis. Our white Romney ewe is from the Emma Morton flock of Chepachet, Rhode Island. And that's ring number 6. Lightning Ridge Farm with the champion Corriedale ewe on ring number 13. And next to them is ring number 15, a champion Katahdin ewe. And then the ewe to the far left, the judges to the left side, is the champion Cotswold ewe from the Robert Eade flock in Addyville, Illinois. Well, you exhibitors, while our judges are contemplating which one, we're going to give you the tentative splits for next year's show. So just these will be the breeds that are going to be in the first half. We have scheduled tentatively starting out on Friday in the morning with the Rambouillets, and Shetlands would be Friday afternoon. Saturday morning would be in the morning the Tunis and the Romneys. Sunday morning would be Border Leicesters and Lincolns in the afternoon. Monday will be our 3 breeds again, but this time it will be AOB Wools, Natural Collards, and Corriedales. Tuesday we end up with the Cotswolds and Katahdins. All right, we're going to do our People's Choice Awards here, and folks, we had a tie. And our sheep superintendent, Debbie Hopkins, is proud to present one of the winners goes to our grand champion Shetland ewe, ring number 1 from Isabel Tower. She wins a nice gift certificate. And come on down, Eric Bruns with Riverwood Farms, held by Rachel Gately. Hey, he wins the... That's right, he won one last week too. All right, Nathan Leon.
Well, that was a hard act to follow. I'm not exactly sure that I'll be able to give you such a transcendental experience as Mr. Best was on his earlier explanation. But I'll do my best. What I'm looking for, and I think what all 3 of us are looking for, is the kind of sheep that will go out in the breed and be the best representation of the breed as we can possibly get, as we can possibly look at with our eye. We're looking for the sheep. Obviously, all of these sheep are very, very correct, very typey. Excellent fleeces on the sheep that have fleeces, or that we evaluate the fleece on. They're true and correct. They're big enough for their breed, and of what sheep is going to do the best in their respective breeds. We all came together and we all kind of looked at each other, and once again we came to a pretty quick conclusion. And so
and see, you folks nailed it. You folks in the People's Choice votes helped. It's amazing how many we've had, at least one every year, at least one of the divisions. Congratulations to Riverwood Farms and to all of you exhibitors on a job well done. Isabel, we're going to get a picture with you, and Eric, take your Tunis ewe over. We're going to get our Director of Agriculture, Donna Willems, right here with us, and our 3 judges, Isaac Gargas. We have Matt Best and Nathan Lee, and we're going to put you 3 gentlemen right behind our Supreme ewe for our publicity shots. And it's going to be followed by the Supreme Champion Fleece judging. So if you had a champion fleece, be ready to come back. There'll be 14 in our next class. Are we good to go? Okay, at this time we're ready to bring in our champions for the Best Fleeced Award and bring in the Shetland. And at this time we're going to recognize our Best Fleeced Shetland winner. Went to the Montana Airy Flock of Bolton, Massachusetts with Wildair Marjorie, number 23. Right behind her is the champion fleece from all of the breeds divisions of Columbia from the Steve Hampson flock in Shirley, Massachusetts. Mike Fox is leading in the White Border Leicester champion fleece winner from the Colin Deacon flock of Cuba, Illinois. Right after that, we have the natural colored Border Leicester, a yearling ewe from the Tiffany Deacon flock, also from Cuba, Illinois. Ring number 5 is our Best Fleece Romney ewe, a junior ewe lamb from the Anchorage farm of Saugerties, New York. Number 6 will be our natural colored Romney, an intermediate ram lamb from Courtney Lyman of Dracut, Massachusetts. And Zach, don't want to forget him. All right, next our White Lincoln is a junior ewe lamb from the Joe and Carol Haddock flock of Jericho, Vermont, with Haddock 1524. That's our best fleece in the White Lincoln. And bringing in the natural collar Lincoln is an intermediate ewe lamb from the Debbie Vanderwyn flock of Greenwood, Delaware. Our next division best fleece winner is the natural colored Fine, and that's a senior ewe lamb from the Wilhigh Farm flock in Tivoli, New York on Wilhigh 14140. And next after that will be the ring number 10 from Emmy and Andrew Huckowitz of Hadley, Massachusetts, with the natural colored medium winner. Charlene Carlisle, lead on in your natural colored coarse and long best fleece winner. And that's from the Little Hooves flock in Morristown, New Jersey. Ring number 12 is our Best Fleece Corriedale, a ewe lamb from the Lightning Ridge flock of Sherborne, Massachusetts. Bob Eads, bring us in your winning Best Fleece Cotswold. That's a senior ewe lamb from the Robert Eads flock of Addyville, Illinois. And Heidi Simmons, Donna Brucey, bring on in your Best Fleeced Rambouillet ewe, a yearling from the Wilhigh Farm. Artie, let's lead your winning Shetland ewe right on around the corner, and we're going to let everybody have a chance here to study these a little more closely and pick our winners. Folks, let's give these exhibitors a nice round of applause on a job well done on winning the Supreme Fleeced Award here at the Big E from each of their different breeds. We've added one more judge here that's going through the sheep as well, and that's, or not a judge, I'm sorry, she's looking at the fleece. Our 3 judges are Still, Nathan Leon and Matt Best and Isaac Garges. The young lady looking at the fleeces is Andrea Collier, and she's going to present the Best Fleeced award here in a little bit. She sponsors the Best Fleece. Greenwood Hills Farm is the business her and her husband Tom Collier runs. And they'll be over at the New York Sheep and Wolf Festival in a month with a very nice display and a nice booth they'll have on hand. We've also got a good sheep sale over there too if you want to find some information about that. We're going to come around the corner here again and again, we're going to recognize our breeders here competing for the Supreme Champion Fleeced Honors. We're going to start here. The first animal to the judge's far right was the champion in the Shetland breed, and that was exhibited and bred by Montana Airy from Bolton, Massachusetts. Steve Hampson with a Columbia was the next ewe from Shirley, Massachusetts. It's a Columbia yearling ewe, wrench number 1437. The third sheep there in the ring is our Best Fleeced White Border Leicester from the Colin Deacon flock of Cuba, Illinois on Colin Deacon 1970. Next to him is his sister's ewe, the natural colored Border Leicester Champion Fleece, and that's from Tiffany Deacon with AJ's flock 151. Next is a White Romney, and that is a junior ewe lamb from the Anchorage Farm of Saugerties, New York with Anchorage Farm 1383. Ring number 6 is our natural colored Romney Best Fleece winner from the intermediate Ram Lamb class exhibited by Courtney Lyman of Massachusetts with Thistledown 508. Then we have our Best Fleeced White Lincoln is a junior ewe lamb from the Joe and Carol Haddock flock of Jericho, Vermont with Haddock 1524. And then next to that animal is our natural colored Lincoln from the Debbie Vanderwyn flock in Greenwood, Delaware with Locust Grove 501. Our natural colored fine winner was a senior ewe lamb from the Wilhigh Farm in Tivoli, New York on Wilhigh 14140. And our natural colored medium winner went to the Emmy and Andrew Huckowitz flock of Hadley, Massachusetts with Jenny, and that's Huckowitz 2195. The natural colored coarse and long winner was exhibited and bred by Little Hooves, Romneys of Morristown, New Jersey with Little Hooves 447. And then our third one from the judge's left side is our champion fleeced Cordale from the Lightning Ridge Farm of Sherborne, Massachusetts on Lightning Ridge Farm 1536. Once again, our Cotswold winner is from the Robert Eade flock of Addyville, Illinois with Eads 328, and our final one to the judge's far left is our Best Fleeced from the Rambouillet Show, a yearling ewe from the Wilhigh Farm in Tivoli, New York. Let's give these exhibitors another nice round of applause on bringing out a great shed of sheep and a job well done. Our judges are pulling out some sheep here. They want to look at it a little more closely. We have a natural colored border Leicester from Tiffany Deacon of Illinois. A white Romney from Anchorage Farm in Saugerties, New York. Jessica Miniter with the Best Fleece Corriedale. Emmy and Andrew Huckowitz with their natural colored medium. And Debbie Vanderwyn from Delaware with her natural colored Lincoln. Once again, our winner here in the Best Fleece division is going to win this nice added prize from the Greenwood Hills flock, Tom and Andrea Collier. Once again, while we're looking through these and the judges are making their decisions, we'll recognize the 5 ewes out here again. To the right side is Tiffany Deacon with the natural colored border Leicester. Ms. West on the helm and Ms. Swartz on the head. Graham Stewart and Hillary Chapin with the Best Fleeced ewe from the Romneys. Jessica Miniter and Chris Hopkins with the holding the Best Fleeced Corriedale. Emmy and Nick Miniter with the Best Fleeced Natural Colored Medium. And Debbie Vanderwyn with the Natural Colored Lincoln ewe. These are our 5 finalists here for the...
You just called it Andrew and Emmy. That's okay. Andrew, this is what happened to
Well, I just heard there was some... they told me about the sire, 2 of the sheep out there.
I think everyone out here needs to be congratulated. You all have excellent fleeces. You know, we're literally splitting wool here, and we pulled out 5 individuals that just kind of popped at the 4 of us, and really are, you know, among the best of the best. And it just gets down to, in our minds, we all again kind of looked at each other, and having handled as many fleeces and done the things that the 4 of us have done, we're all in agreement that your Corriedale is going to be your best fleeced.
Lightning Ridge Farms with our Supreme Champion Fleece. Congratulations, Jessica. And Andrea is going to present the trophy. Could Jessica, please stick by just a moment. All right, let's take her over to the picture stand and we'll get a picture of her. And this will wrap up our sheep shows here at the 2015 Eastern States Exposition. We thank all of you in the crowd for sticking around, and those of you watching on our webcast, hello back to our offices in Illinois as well that are watching. We appreciate your support. And all the others that are here watching our show and have been with us the past 2 weeks.